Hey cookies, Mythras Cookie here, breaking down Kingdom Arena meta for you here in the final couple days of Radiant Heroes Season 1. Going to carry over nicely into Season 2 here. We've had a ton of impacts and changes, and I'm excited to cover those for you here today on the channel. So appreciate you tuning in. As always, timestamps down below for you, where we will break down the meta, we'll talk about some of those impacts, and then we'll close out today's episode as we always do in Mythras Cookie style. Now, again, appreciate you for your support. As always, great ways to stay connected here on the channel, but let's get moving here as we close out Kingdom Arena here in July, moving into the next July season as well, which I'm super excited about. So if you followed me, if you follow me or also cover some of the YouTube shorts that I do, I've certainly talked about 3 key impacts here in terms of those meta, and we'll come back and talk about that here in a second. So this is what the meta is shaping up to look like currently right now. We have new additions here with Financier Cookie being a big one. We also have Espresso Cookie breaking back into the meta, and then additionally Vampire Cookie as well. So these are all the key things that we definitely need to keep an eye out in terms of what's happening right now in essentially real time. And I did talk about this as well in the shorts that you can certainly keep an eye on and up to date as well. So this is just a lot more in-depth breakdown for you because we can't always get through everything in less than a minute. So with that, that is really what this is starting to look like. If we continue to scroll down, we can see some of these changes, some of these other things that are still around in the meta as we get down to kind of that top 20, but it is very tight and succinct in terms of what we're seeing here. So really, again, Wildberry, Financier, we have Pomegranate, we see our lovely healers here. We have one Frozen Queen and a host of other things, Eclair, those kinds of pieces as well, breaking into this meta. Now, again, big additions here with Financier, Espresso, and then Vampire Cookie. Also on top of that, we begin to see the Ascension popping in here as well when we see those 2-3 stars, the wings, those kinds of things too that make a huge impact in terms of the power of these cookies. And you can see this in the power level being about 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, all the way up. So that's huge in terms of that power to see that exactly where you need to be in terms of that competitive nature. You can certainly see my team's around 600k. But again, not rolled out exactly there yet. We will get there soon, and I hope to see you there as well. So that is the key breakdown and overview of this meta. Let's go ahead and reconvene on some of those impacts. So the first ones that we definitely talked about, these are 3 things that I want to circle back on that I did cover before the update, and the update has certainly made a massive impact in terms of what we got going on here. Is a few things. The first one that you're not readily going to be able to see, but definitely know is there in terms of some of the pieces, is this right here, Chocolate Altar of the Fallen. So really this focus on crit damage moving up, making a huge impact and difference in terms of some of the meta. We'll come back and talk with some of these and review and renew some of our cookies, because I think it's going to change some of the toppings, at least in my opinion, on how you want to roll with those things. The next piece, as we talked about, we now have that addition of Financier Cookie. So Financier Cookie right here, you can see exactly what's going on. We can drill into this cookie for you today as well. Right here in terms of the move set, we see a lot going on: single hit damage, healing, damage resistance, crit resistance, attack boost, a host of other things, making this cookie a huge viability in that PvP. We'll certainly do its own spotlight here, as we always do as well, but wanted to kind of re-show that for you. And then obviously the third and final piece really being, which we talked about, is these candies and the massive influx into the meta with things like Vampire Cookie, Espresso Cookie, and Plum. And here's what we got going on, where these things are really adding a ton of power to these cookies. They got a bunch of levels in there too, 10 levels, to make this a much more powerful, viable cookie. And this thing absolutely, positively hits like a truck. And one of the reasons why you're seeing that in today's meta for PvP as well. So to circle back and close out today's episode, We wanted to make sure we gave you a more in-depth look and feel into the current meta that we're seeing in PvP. We did talk about this maybe 2 days ago, and some of those key renditions, additions, and changes for Kingdom Arena here, Radiant Heroes Season 1 and CookieRun Kingdom on the shorts. So that's a great way to stay connected and in touch here on the channel, to give you those bite-sized pieces as we drill in and give you more information on full-length episodes like this. So cookies, hope you enjoyed the session. We gave you the update in the meta, the changes due to and post July update here, making it a very, very fun one. Lots of cool things. I've been a huge fan. Hope you are too. Love to hear from you on your comments down below. Certainly let me know. Feel free to hop in the Discord server as well. We broke down those impacts and what's going on and continue to happen here in the short term for our Kingdom Arena. Now, again, other questions, do let me know. Love to hear from you. Great ways to stay connected here on the channel. Appreciate your support. As always, cookies, we'll see you again soon in the next episode, and a ton of content here on the channel. And until next time, you stay safe. Mythras Cookie out.